Hello, greater YouTube area and the surrounding internet regions. This is Killer Cardinal DA7. So let's cut a little deeper. In my last video, I talked about compromise and how appallingly awful a situation it looks to people. Thing is, the biggest obstacle in causing people to think compromise won't work is our own identities. I say our because regardless of your position on the socioeconomic hierarchy in America, whether you're at the top and you feel your influence, power, immunity, or freedom to be complacent is slipping away, or whether you're at the bottom and you're slowly gaining a little more freedom, a little more power, a little more influence, but eventually you have to shelve your dream of being at the tippy top spot because, as we've seen, being there can cause a distinct lack of care and concern for the suffering of others. All of our identities in this ever-changing land will have to adapt, or we all suffer dire consequences. See, very few people allow for their identities to have any degree of give. Every single day, people are finding louder reasons to justify their distaste and distrust in others, and it's only making resolving most problems harder and harder. I said last time that people are identifying with the fight more than the solution. That may not seem like a big deal, that people are stealing their resolves and becoming more passionate. That in and of itself is a great thing. However, when people identify with the fight more than the solution, they run the risk of sabotaging things when they may actually have a remote chance of getting better. This isn't to say that the freedom fighters out there are the ones causing the problems. On the contrary, with the extremes that our current presidential administration is taking law and policy to, those protesters and freedom fighters are the only people keeping things balanced in this country. I just want to know, what would it take for your average liberal freedom fighter or your average conservative crusader for righteousness to lay down their arms because they're satisfied with how things turn out? Look at it like a hostage situation. Imagine for a moment that America is the hostage and you're the hostage taker. You're in control. You have everyone looking at you, listening to you. What are your demands? I'm going to ask that again because I want you to really contemplate it. What specifically are your demands? How reasonable are those demands? And if you get them, every single one, are you going to go quietly and give up the fight? Or are you killing the hostage anyway out of anger, resentment, or hate because fuck those people who put you in this situation? How do you want to be known by the public? Do you want to be known as somebody who doesn't give two shits about your fellow citizen? Do you want to be known as a selfless, constant protector and defender of those who can't protect themselves? Which is more of a priority to you? Who you are behind closed doors or who you are in public? In my view, it can only be a combination of both. If you're the most you in public, who do you end up being in private? Requiring others to be around you means you get to impact the lives of others, but no one is around people 100% of the time. Eventually, you'll be by yourself. And your own personal happiness will hinge on whether you've done enough to benefit yourself or not. Then again, if you're the most you in private, you're safe. You can believe, see, sense, feel, think anything you want without judgment, without question, without doubt or obligation, no matter how dirty, filthy, disgusting, degrading, or evil. Yet you risk not having any significance in the world as you lose any visibility, relationships, relevance, or any say about your fate because others are busy dictating it for you. I want to see more people willing to speak and listen. I want to see more people take up the mantle that we all have something to contribute to society. Rich to poor, upper class to lower class, white to black, gay to straight, male to female, zealot to nihilist, and everywhere in between. If we don't stop these constant wars between everyone's identities, we could be headed to a full-blown civil war. I know that sounds dramatic. Trust me, I'm not losing sleep over anarchy sweeping our nation overnight. But the next time a political issue comes up on social media, watch how people act. Watch how fast they are to judge someone with a particular profile picture. How easy they become defensive. How often they take a verbal fighting stance and what they take it for. How soon they allow themselves to let an insult slip out. How quickly they snap on someone who is merely trying to find a counterpoint for the sake of discussion and analysis. And then tell me people aren't itching to justify violence against people they're arguing with. We all need to be tolerant of each other, even to a baseline degree, and help each other understand each other. No one group is taking control in this country and crushing the opposition. It's either war or peace. There's barely any peace at the moment, so process of elimination. Enlighten me. What alternative do you see? This is Killer Cardinal DA7. Talk to you soon.
Move you on shadow to cleanse your despair in their blood. Sever their heads, yet they rise again.